In the heart of Tel Aviv, behind unmarked doors and bulletproof glass, sits an organization that has redefined what's possible in modern intelligence operations. On a quiet Thursday morning in 2018, a team of 30 Mossad operatives executed one of the most audacious intelligence operations in history. They broke into a heavily fortified warehouse in Tehran, photographed over 100,000 documents detailing Iran's nuclear program, and vanished without a trace. The entire operation took just 6 hours. Today we're going deep inside Mossad, Israel's legendary intelligence service that has become synonymous with impossible missions, surgical precision, and operations that seem pulled from Hollywood thrillers. But the reality is far more complex, methodical, and fascinating than any movie could portray. By the end of this video, you'll understand how Mossad operates, what makes them so effective, and why they're considered the gold standard for intelligence agencies worldwide. Welcome to the secret world of Israel's most elite unit. The story of Mossad begins not with spy games or covert operations, but with a simple yet powerful mission statement that has guided every action for over 7 decades. Never again. Founded in 1949, just 1 year after Israel's independence, Mossad emerged from the ashes of the Holocaust with a clear mandate to protect the Jewish people from existential threats. Unlike other intelligence agencies that evolved from wartime services or colonial administrations, Mossad was built from the ground up with a singular focus: ensuring Israel's survival in a hostile neighborhood. The agency's full name, Hamossad Lemodian Ultafkidim Meyuhadim, translates to the Institute for Intelligence and Special Operations, but everyone simply calls it Mossad, meaning the Institute. What makes Mossad unique from its inception is its combination of traditional intelligence gathering with what they call special operations. While most intelligence agencies focus primarily on information collection, Mossad was designed to be both sword and shield, capable of gathering intelligence and taking decisive action when necessary. The agency's founding director, Reuven Shiloah, established principles that still guide Mossad today: compartmentalization for security, innovation over tradition, and the willingness to take calculated risks that other agencies would consider impossible. These principles would prove crucial as Mossad evolved from a small, regional intelligence service into one of the world's most feared and respected agencies. Understanding Mossad requires understanding its unique organizational structure, which differs significantly from other intelligence agencies. The organization is divided into 8 main departments, each operating with near-complete autonomy to maintain operational security. The Collections Department, known internally as Caesarea, is responsible for human intelligence gathering. These are the operatives who recruit assets, gather information, and maintain networks in hostile territories. Caesarea operatives are trained to blend seamlessly into any environment, speaking multiple languages, and adopting cover identities that can withstand intense scrutiny. The Operations Department, called Mossad, handles what most people think of as classic spy work: sabotage, assassination, and covert operations. Mossad operatives are among the most highly trained special operations personnel in the world, capable of conducting missions that seem impossible to outsiders. The Research Department analyzes intelligence, identifies threats, and provides strategic assessments. Unlike other agencies where analysis is separate from operations, Mossad's research analysts work closely with field operatives to ensure real-time intelligence assessment. The Technology Department, known as Tevel, develops the cutting-edge equipment and techniques that give Mossad its technological edge. From sophisticated surveillance devices to cyber warfare capabilities, Tevel keeps Mossad at the forefront of intelligence technology. What makes this structure particularly effective is the principle of compartmentalization. Each department operates independently, with minimal cross-communication except at the highest levels. This means that if one operation is compromised, it doesn't endanger others. It also allows for rapid deployment and execution of missions without bureaucratic delays. The agency is led by a director known as Memun, who reports directly to the Prime Minister. This direct line of communication allows for rapid decision-making and eliminates the bureaucratic layers that can slow down other intelligence agencies. Mossad's operational methods are perhaps what they're most famous for, combining meticulous planning with audacious execution. Their approach to operations follows what they call the 3-layer principle: extensive preparation, surgical execution, and complete deniability. The preparation phase can take months or even years. Mossad operatives study their targets exhaustively, mapping routines, identifying vulnerabilities, and creating detailed operational plans. They believe that proper preparation makes the actual operation almost routine. This preparation includes creating false identities, establishing safe houses, and developing multiple escape routes. The execution phase is where Mossad's reputation for precision comes into play. They prefer small teams of highly skilled operatives over large, complex operations. A typical Mossad operation might involve fewer than 10 people, each with a specific role and extensive backup plans. This approach minimizes risk and maximizes effectiveness. The deniability phase is crucial for Israel's diplomatic relations. Mossad operations are designed to be untraceable back to Israel, allowing the government to maintain plausible deniability even when the operation's success is obvious. This is achieved through careful planning, the use of false identities, and the systematic elimination of evidence. One of Mossad's most distinctive methods is their use of what they call human intelligence supremacy. While other agencies increasingly rely on technology and signals intelligence, Mossad maintains that human assets remain the most valuable source of information. They invest heavily in recruiting and maintaining networks of informants, often spending years developing relationships before asking for information. Mossad also pioneered what intelligence professionals call targeted operations, surgical strikes designed to eliminate specific threats without causing collateral damage. This approach reflects both practical necessity and moral considerations, as Israel cannot afford to alienate potential allies through indiscriminate violence. The agency's most famous operations read like a catalog of impossible missions accomplished. Operation Finale, the 1960 capture of Nazi war criminal Adolf Eichmann in Argentina, established Mossad's reputation for long-reach operations. The operation required months of surveillance, the creation of false identities, and the physical kidnapping of Eichmann from the streets of Buenos Aires. What made this operation remarkable wasn't just its success, but its method. Rather than assassinating Eichmann, Mossad chose to capture him alive and bring him to Israel for trial. This decision reflected the agency's broader mission, not just protecting Israel but ensuring justice for the Jewish people. Operation Wrath of God, Mossad's response to the 1972 Munich Olympics massacre, demonstrated their capacity for sustained, systematic operations. Over several years, they tracked down and eliminated the Palestinian operatives responsible for killing 11 Israeli athletes. The operation required coordination across multiple countries, extensive planning, and perfect execution. More recently, Mossad's alleged involvement in the Stuxnet cyber attack on Iran's nuclear program showcased their adaptation to digital warfare. The operation, conducted in partnership with American intelligence, used sophisticated malware to physically damage Iran's uranium enrichment centrifuges. This represented a new form of warfare, cyber operations with physical consequences. The 2018 operation to obtain Iran's nuclear archive stands as perhaps Mossad's most audacious recent success. The operation required infiltrating a heavily guarded facility in Tehran, photographing over 100,000 documents, and escaping without detection. The intelligence gathered provided crucial insights into Iran's nuclear program and influenced international policy decisions. Each of these operations demonstrates Mossad's core principles: thorough preparation, surgical execution, and strategic impact. They don't just gather intelligence, they act on it in ways that shape regional and global events. Understanding Mossad's current capabilities requires looking at how they've adapted to modern challenges. Today's Mossad operates in a world vastly different from its founding era, facing threats that range from traditional espionage to cyber warfare to global terrorism. In the cyber domain, Mossad has become one of the world's most sophisticated players. Their Cyber Operations Unit, known as Unit 8200, has developed capabilities that rival those of major powers. They've moved beyond defensive cybersecurity to offensive operations that can disrupt enemy capabilities and gather intelligence from previously inaccessible sources. Mossad's human intelligence capabilities remain unmatched. They maintain networks of operatives and informants across the Middle East, Europe, and beyond. These networks provide real-time intelligence on threats to Israel and allow for rapid response to emerging situations. The agency has also adapted to the challenges of operating in an increasingly monitored world. Modern surveillance technology, from facial recognition to satellite imagery, has made traditional intelligence operations more difficult. Mossad has responded by developing new techniques for maintaining operational security and avoiding detection. Their technological capabilities extend beyond cyber warfare to include sophisticated surveillance equipment, communication systems, and operational tools. The agency's technology department continues to push the boundaries of what's possible in intelligence gathering and operations. However, Mossad also faces significant limitations. International law and diplomatic pressure constrain their operations, particularly in friendly countries. The rise of social media and citizen journalism has made it harder to maintain operational secrecy. Improved counterintelligence by adversaries has made traditional intelligence gathering more challenging. The agency must also balance its operational effectiveness with Israel's diplomatic relationships. Operations that might be tactically successful could prove strategically counterproductive if they damage Israel's international standing. Like all intelligence agencies, Mossad operates in a moral gray area that inevitably generates controversy. Their methods, while effective, raise questions about international law, national sovereignty, and human rights. The agency's assassination operations, while surgically precise, have drawn criticism for violating international law and national sovereignty. The 2010 assassination of Hamas leader Mahmoud al-Mabhouh in Dubai, while operationally successful, created a diplomatic crisis when the operation was exposed. Mossad's use of false identities and forged documents has strained relationships with allied countries whose passports were used in operations. The practice of using friendly nations' documents for covert operations creates diplomatic complications that can damage long-term relationships. The agency has also faced criticism for operations that resulted in civilian casualties or mistaken identities. The 1973 Lillehammer affair, where Mossad agents killed an innocent man they mistook for a Palestinian terrorist, highlighted the risks of intelligence operations and the potential for tragic errors. However, these controversies must be viewed in context. Mossad operates in an environment where failure could mean existential threats to Israel. The agency's methods, while controversial, reflect the unique challenges facing a small nation surrounded by hostile neighbors. The debate over Mossad's methods ultimately reflects broader questions about the balance between national security and international law, between operational effectiveness and moral considerations. These are questions that every intelligence agency faces, but they're particularly acute for Mossad given Israel's strategic situation. Looking toward the future, Mossad faces challenges that will test their adaptability and innovation. The rise of artificial intelligence and machine learning is transforming intelligence gathering and analysis. Mossad must integrate these technologies while maintaining their emphasis on human intelligence. Cyber warfare is becoming increasingly important, requiring new skills and capabilities. The agency must continue expanding their cyber operations while defending against increasingly sophisticated attacks on Israeli infrastructure. The changing geopolitical landscape in the Middle East presents both opportunities and challenges. Regional realignments, changing alliances, and emerging threats require constant adaptation of intelligence priorities and operational methods. The democratization of technology means that non-state actors have access to capabilities that were once limited to major powers. This requires new approaches to threat assessment and operational planning. Climate change and resource scarcity are creating new security challenges that traditional intelligence agencies may not be equipped to handle. Understanding these challenges and their implications for regional stability will require new analytical frameworks and operational approaches. However, Mossad's track record suggests they will adapt successfully to these challenges. The agency's culture of innovation, willingness to take calculated risks, and focus on results over bureaucracy positions them well for future challenges. The training and recruitment of Mossad operatives remains one of the agency's most closely guarded secrets, but some aspects of their approach are known. The agency recruits from diverse backgrounds, seeking individuals with specific skills, language abilities, and psychological profiles suited for intelligence work. The recruitment process is extensive and secretive, often taking years to complete. Potential operatives undergo rigorous psychological evaluation, background checks, and skills assessment. The agency looks for individuals who can operate independently, think creatively under pressure, and maintain cover identities under intense scrutiny. Training is comprehensive and ongoing, covering everything from language skills and cultural immersion to weapons training and tradecraft. New operatives spend months in training before being assigned to operational units, and continuing education is mandatory throughout their careers. The agency maintains training facilities that simulate various operational environments, from urban settings to hostile territories. This realistic training prepares operatives for the challenges they'll face in the field and ensures they can maintain their cover under pressure. What sets Mossad training apart is its emphasis on improvisation and creative problem-solving. While other agencies might rely on standard procedures, Mossad training encourages operatives to think outside conventional frameworks and develop innovative solutions to operational challenges. The psychological preparation is particularly important, as Mossad operatives often work in high-stress environments where failure could have catastrophic consequences. The agency provides extensive psychological support and maintains strict operational security to protect their people. Mossad's impact on global intelligence extends far beyond Israeli interests. Their operational methods, training techniques, and technological innovations have influenced intelligence agencies worldwide. The agency's emphasis on human intelligence, surgical operations, and technological innovation has become a model for other services. Their success in high-profile operations has elevated the global perception of what intelligence agencies can accomplish. The precision and audacity of Mossad operations have inspired both admiration and concern from intelligence professionals worldwide. The agency's adaptation to modern challenges, particularly in cyber warfare and counterterrorism, has positioned them as leaders in these critical areas. Other intelligence agencies study Mossad's methods and often seek cooperation in areas of mutual interest. However, Mossad's influence also raises questions about the proliferation of intelligence capabilities and the potential for intelligence operations to destabilize international relations. The agency's success has inspired both allies and adversaries to enhance their own capabilities. The relationship between Mossad and other intelligence agencies is complex, involving both cooperation and competition. While the agency maintains close relationships with allied services, they also compete for resources, intelligence, and influence. Inside, Mossad represents more than just an intelligence agency. It embodies a nation's determination to survive and thrive in a hostile environment. From its founding principle of never again to its current status as one of the world's most effective intelligence services, Mossad reflects both the capabilities and the challenges of modern intelligence work. The agency's success stems from its unique combination of meticulous planning, technological innovation, and willingness to take calculated risks. Their operations demonstrate what's possible when intelligence agencies are given clear missions, adequate resources, and operational flexibility. However, Mossad's story also highlights the moral complexities and diplomatic challenges inherent in intelligence work. The agency's methods, while effective, raise important questions about the balance between national security and international law, between operational success and moral considerations. As we look toward the future, Mossad's continued evolution will depend on their ability to adapt to new challenges while maintaining their core principles. The rise of artificial intelligence, the changing geopolitical landscape, and emerging security threats will test the agency's adaptability and innovation. What remains constant is the fundamental challenge that created Mossad: the need for nations to protect their interests and understand their adversaries in an uncertain world. Whether we approve of their methods or not, Mossad's story provides crucial insights into the hidden world of intelligence operations and the forces that shape international relations. The secret world of Mossad continues to evolve, but their impact on global intelligence and international relations remains profound. Understanding their methods, capabilities, and challenges provides a window into the complex world of modern intelligence operations and the eternal struggle between security and freedom, between national interests and international law. In the shadows of international relations, where truth is often stranger than fiction, Mossad continues to operate with the same principle that guided their founding, ensuring that never again remains more than just a promise, but a lived reality, protected by some of the world's most skilled intelligence professionals.